This video will help you understand how to connect your BaseStation 1000 to your local network using Ethernet. Before we get started, let's recognize that networking may be intimidating for some of you. We've taken steps to make the process easy for most all installations. Compared to other types of network connections, Ethernet is likely the easiest to set up. There will be times when you need to bring in some help, but for most of you, this will be a breeze. Baseline controllers can connect to a network and the BaseManager server in various ways. Today, we're reviewing an Ethernet connection, which uses a Cat5 Ethernet cable and the RJ45 port that's on the back of every baseline controller. Begin by connecting the Cat5 cable to the network at a wall connection, your router, or any other network access point. Connect the other end of the cable to the port on the back of the controller, ensuring there's enough slack to open the controller door. At the controller, press the System Setup key, open the Network Setup menu, and then open Communication Setup. Make sure that communication type is set to Ethernet. If it's set to something else, use the plus or minus keys to find Ethernet. Now arrow down to IP Setup and press OK to open the menu. Ensure that DHCP is enabled. DHCP addresses are network addresses or IP addresses created every time the controller connects to the network. If I back up to IP info, I can tell that this one is because the network has created an IP address with all the pertinent information. Press back twice and open the BaseManager Setup menu to make sure that BaseManager is enabled. We're almost done here, so back up to BaseManager info, where you may see the status currently reads disconnected. Press OK to start the connection process. You may see the status change from connecting to registering or authorizing. After a moment, my status reads connected, so I have access to the BaseManager server. If the connection process stalls at any point, press disconnect, wait a moment, and then press connect again. It's likely that will solve the connection issue. Once you're connected to BaseManager or have an authorization code for first-time connections, you can move on to the next step that's linked below. Since you're still here, it's possible something didn't work right with the network connection process. After you double-check the steps, here are a few things that can help. Are you connected to a private network like a city or a school? You want to contact your network administrator or IT support person for assistance in connecting to your network. The primary question for them is, do we have a DHCP network? Remember, that means it uses a dynamic and ever-changing network address. If the answer is no, the likely alternative is that your network requires a static or unchanging IP address. With that question answered, your network administrator should be able to connect your controller. You may need the baseline support team to help finalize your network connection though. If you want to gather information before talking to your IT department, the MAC address is very helpful. A MAC address is an identifying number for each piece of connected network hardware. For your controller, it can be found at System Setup, Network Setup, and then BaseManager info. You can see the MAC address for my BaseStation 1000 right here near the top. The MAC address for your controller will be different, so don't use this one. For Ethernet connections or other help, Baseline support can be reached at support@baselinesystems.com or 866-294-5847.